but there's a few decent names coming back. Jack Clark.
They're all decent on our list. Let's be positive. Yeah, look,
with the names that are coming back in.
we named the squad. I think it was a squad of 25. Yeah, so there's some old hands and some fresher faces sort of named, and but we've got to get through our final training session today. There's always you hold your breath and hopefully get a clean bill of health and pick our best team that's available.
You talk a bit about Josh Simpson and what he's been able to do this year playing in the Waffle. Obviously,
yeah.
A few issues last year. He's come back and looks like he's playing pretty good.
Yeah, he's sort of turned the corner. He's started to understand the commitment of AFL footy and the work rate required, and he's taken control of his life off the field, and he's got himself in pretty good shape, and that's enabled him to put together a couple of decent performances. So whether he gets across the line or not, there's a bit of work to go there yet.
Was having that break, I think he went up north, back home for a few weeks, did that help in the off-season for him?
Well, I can't speak for Josh, but I can only see what's put in front of me. So since then it's been a significant shift. And as I said, I feel like I've really answered. He's got himself together and he's been able to get some momentum and prepare really well. So, the most talented players in the country, you hear about Gary Ablett Jr., he's a great preparer. So he's got a lot of God-given talent, but you've got to be able to harness that with hard work. And that's Josh is starting to understand and do that, which is fantastic. We put a lot of expectations on them, even your first-year players, but it's a tough business and they need to do a bit of an apprenticeship. That doesn't say they don't play, like the Lockie Neals and Cams have been playing, but some sort of get it quicker than others and develop quicker than others. That's why it's hard to judge players truly until really 3 years in. We like to give them 3 years before we probably make a real judgment on them.
What about Colin Silver? You might not be able to tell us where you're going to play him, but just talk about his versatility, because obviously he can play a few different roles, I guess.
Well, again, he's been named in the squad. There's only two certainties in life, aren't there? Death and taxes. So we'll get through the training session and we'll see what comes out of it. Yeah, but he started to build a bit. Yeah, no doubt.
Ross, you were well beaten out of the middle against Hawthorn. Essendon have a few big bodies to go through there.
Yeah.
How do you rejig your setup to be more competitive?
Oh, we've put a little bit of work in it, but basically we like to be predictable. At the end of the day, it is about intent and hardness and joining in. It's not science works in there really. But we did get going in the middle, in particular in the second half. But the second half's probably too late, isn't it? Well, they're a proud group. Our midfield's delivered. We're coming up really against the most informed team in the competition, really. At the end of the day, they probably should have got across the line against Hawthorn. They should be 3-0. They're pretty much fully fit and available. They've beaten us the last couple of times, beaten us here. So we've come off a really bad loss. So, all the pointers are, it's going to be a big challenge, but one we're pretty keen to accept. And we see it as a real opportunity to sort of improve our football again, because we took a significant step backwards last week. We didn't enjoy it. Certainly we haven't beaten each other up this week, but it's been a sharp review pointing out, we need to bring better effort and we need to work together better and play some positive football. So that's the way we're going to approach it.
Is there anyone you look to swing forward to replace? Obviously both May and Walters coming in.
Yeah, well, it's just those that are named. We've got to get through training. There's Jack Hanna's still there. There's Zach Clark, Taberner, Josh Simpson, Sylvia. But again, we've still got some significant decisions to make based on what we see on our last training session, and because we like to sort of train how we play. So therefore, it's high quality, high intensity, and you always run the risk of losing people. That's why we're always nervous to declare anyone, because it changes so quickly. I've been in last training sessions where you lose 2 or 3, and so you just got to get through, assess it, and then make some final decisions.
Palmer Johnson says he's named a strong running side. Is that at all concern for you?
Well, I think he names a strong running side every week. AFL football, the great Alan Jean said, had a great relationship with him. He took me under his wing when I was at St Kilda, and he had a famous saying, "Sonny, I didn't invent the running game, but it's here to stay." So that was 30 years ago. So everyone picks a running team every week, but I think Collier has been named. He was a super sub last time against us, come on, and they bring him over for his once a year hometown hit, and he sort of erupts. So we'll be alert to those sort of things, but at the end of the day, we can only control ourselves and try and control our footy.
Do you see Essendon doing anything different this year?
Oh no, it's hard. You know, I think everyone's on record. They're using the outnumber really well. They like to outnumber around the contest. They spread the ball, continuously controlling the ball and moving the ball. But to be frank, I can't remember how different. All I know is at was it round 17 last year? Essendon were 13-4 or something like that. So they've been a pretty good team for a while, and you know, it was remarkable what they did last year with the stresses, and clearly they've been under some stress this year. But you know, all credit to them. They've been mentally tough and been able to hold themselves together. So it's good to see a great footy club getting back on their knees. But we want to be a great football club, and we're building. So we need to come up against them and match them head on.
Do you think they've been underestimated in some ways, maybe from the outside?
Well, I don't know. That's not something I can answer. I haven't put much thought to it, to be honest. Thanks.
Nancy Pearce, back in the side. Has he done enough?
Well, you said he's back in the side, so picking the team, good work. To be frank, this is the fourth time I'm going to answer. We've put a squad together. You can repackage your question any way you like and assert anything you like, but I've been around a little while.
Ross, do you think your players learn anything out of that loss to Essendon last
Well, I would like to think Essendon's lost last year. I thought we meant last week. We move on pretty quick, you know, so it's not something we've dwelled on. Thanks, guys.